Welcome back to Siesta with Suki. Thank you so much for joining us. In a few minutes, you're going to watch an episode that I filmed with Jaguar, who is going to be a facilitator of the Oaxaca Healing Retreat taking place on March 14th through March 17th of 2025. This retreat, done in partnership with my good friend Lisa Riley in Playa del Carmen and Hermana, is going to be a transformative experience, and I wanted to take the time on the show to talk to one of our facilitators, just so you get a real sense of the purpose and what we're really looking to accomplish in the retreat. So as always, thank you for joining us. We also obviously want to say a big thanks to Hermana for even conceiving and participating in this with us, and I will see you 2 seconds. Ciao. Welcome back to Siesta with Suki. This is our very first episode of 2025. Thank you so much for joining with me. Thank you so much for sticking with me, watching the episodes. As I always tell you, I have a special guest. And I know I tell you every guest is special. So the thing is they are. So I won't say they're not. But this guest in particular, her and I have known each other for a few years, but I don't think we've actually gotten together physically more than, this is our second time, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yes, it's only been twice.
And I love you so much.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But you know, love doesn't have to be physical all the time, so you know, that's what we're here talking about. So I want to introduce you to Jaguar, and today we're gonna go on a little bit of a journey. Many of you are already on a physical journey, whether it's thinking about relocating, traveling, etc. And a lot of times in our journeys, we're kind of trying to find ourselves. So the real talk is, we are actually already in here. It's a little Dorothy Wizard of Oz. It's click the 3 gears and you'll find out you're already home. But how do you get there? Well, we're gonna talk to Jaguar today about how you get to be that place where, she told me just a few minutes ago, you had to hear, I was like, yeah, all of us have a trauma. I was talking about me too. She's like, no, not me, I'm good. I was like, okay. That's where I need to be, right? So how do I get on this path? I'm good. So without further ado, Jaguar, thank you so much for joining me. And tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell people about Womb Nation and give them that little part first, and then we will dive right into it.
I do like when people say things that just come out of my mouth, because I think if you asked me in a way where I was gonna go in, I would start talking about traumas that I do think I have, but that purity, that authenticity is what just pops out when you just say something. So I really like also the reflection of hearing, like, oh wait, am I there? I'm there. Oh my gosh, I'm there. 2025, staying alive. So yes. I do like that. So thank you. Already you brought me some healing today, and that's really good. Okay, I'm Jaguar, and we're gonna get into, in a more juicy way, the storyline and the trajectory that has brought me to be sitting here in this seat with Suki in Oaxaca saying, I'm Jaguar, and like out of the trauma. So there is a journey there, and that's what we're here to share with you. And that's also the journey that has come together to create my current work, which is Womb Nation. And I teach the modality of womb steaming, which is a practice that we'll also talk about more deeply later, I think, as well. But I work with womb carriers. Used to all be called women, but womb carriers, those who have a womb in their body. I work with the herbs, like the plants, and I work with salt. And then I work also with, well, you can call it whatever you want, but the intention of creating a connection to a specific part of your body. And this is a technique that can help you to do that. And then when you do that, that connection can take you many places. So that's what Womb Nation is all about. It's connecting with the roots of the earth and with the root space in your body, and the way that that connects us with other womb carriers in the world and creates harmony between us. Yeah, so that's maybe a good summary of my work. And I live here in Oaxaca not only because of the work, but also because it's just the best place for me in my personal energy field to be. I feel restored. I feel like when women come here to work with me, Oaxaca is working with me. And I don't know, I love that. Did I answer well?
You did, no, and Oaxaca's working. So first of all,
I want to keep it real with you. It's all about authenticity. In the background, you're going to be hearing some.
Yeah, I got distracted.
Listen, I started jamming a little bit.
Yeah, because like
and I
the
was like,
music
okay.
changed. I was
And
like,
it's going to be weird on the show, and then they're going to be like, what are these people doing, right? So normally I would ask our editor to like, sound this out, but we're just going to go ahead and keep that in there because this is it. This is Oaxaca. At any point, someone is jamming. At any point, there's like life, going on. It's not a quiet, stale place, right? It's like a lively, moving, energetic. The energy's coming from your body. I wish I could show you my neighbor doing this. He's like Rocky out there, okay? He is just jamming every day. And I respect that. Good for him. I love that he feels that energy every day when he comes. So we're gonna, you, me, Jaguar, we're gonna be with that energy. Hopefully he keeps the songs good. Normally his place is pretty good, so we should be all right. So, you know what I wanted to ask you about?
yeah.
I always start off by asking guests, take me back to when you were 5. Who were you? What were you thinking?
I think my inner child is, it could be, I think it's maybe part of the work and something unique about me, that my inner child is definitely like in the field. Like, like I don't need to like go deeply to find her. She's right there. So I do think that what I was doing when I was 5 is kind of what I'm doing now. But my inner child is I'm very, very connected to her. I do wake up some days and I just want to color with crayons, and then I'll just color with crayons all day and like drink tea. And when I was 5, I was I was definitely very, very like girly, like tea party with coloring and like all of the animals, like my stuffed animals and then my little dolls, and then also like animals that I found on the street who had like a hurt wing. I would bring a lot of animals into my hospital space. And so definitely healing and creativity have always been a theme for me. And that's the type of lifestyle that Oaxaca also allows me to live today. Like, so healing and creativity when I was 5, definitely.
So I'm going to do something a little different than I've done with every other guest. We got to shake things up sometimes. As opposed to going forward, I actually want to go back.
Oh, nice.
I want to go back to the ancestors, your ancestors. Because I do think that there is a part of...
Oh, I got chills, Suki.
Okay. There's a part of who we are that is who we were before we were, right? So talk to me about your ancestry, your ancestors. Who are they?
That's good. Okay. Yeah, on my mom's side, I'm a descendant of King Jaja de Opobo of Nigeria. My mom is Dutch Caribbean, so she was born in Aruba, and my family lines are in St. Martin and Aruba on that side. But it's interesting growing up, like every time anything happened, it would be like, you are a princess, you are a descendant of King Jaja, and then they have this like paperwork that they've documented. They would like bring out the paperwork. I'm like, can I just make a little mistake here?
Not the princess.
Not the princess. They definitely wanted that to be alive in my consciousness. And it's interesting, the 5-year-old question, I was very princessy also, and I'm still very like, I'm a Libra sun. I was just telling him Libra sun, like Taurus rising and a Pisces moon. So it's like very princess layout. I like thinking into those things. So in my mother's bloodline, I travel back in that direction. And my mom grew up in Aruba and in St. Martin and in St. Lucia. And then my father is Guyanese. My dad is like, he has that like, I think I also have this innocent savage energy. It's like very raw. Like I just do want to be like naked and barefoot on a river, like eating a mango, peeling it with my teeth. And then there's like the diva side, and it's the combo of my mom and my dad. So the like King Jaja de Opobo princess lineage, that's my mom. And then my dad is like born in a river, in the Baracara River in Guyana, like from an area where you can't get to unless you have a guide who's like paddling you through on a boat, you know what I mean? So really just roots, people, like you can travel to Baracara today, you'll find all of my relatives like intermarried, living off the river on this like community, you know, like living off the land, really raw and real. My father is from there, and he moved the consciousness out through his brilliance. He speaks 13 languages. He is a theologian. His doctorate is in Hebrew and Semitic studies, and he's a minister he was a minister growing up, and he's like a biblical scholar and theologian, and he kind of pulled the consciousness out of that deep river state through getting scholarships to go to like this bougie school in Guyana, you know, and he has stories about like paddling in the boat and walking barefoot, you know, hours to like make it to school every day to be able to study with these people. So I think I'm a combo of those things, like the academic, the intellectual, the kind of diva princess side, and then like the river savage who just wants to be like naked eating the mango with all the juices dripping down. Naked, yeah. And so
naked and not afraid.
Naked and not afraid, and that's also my work. Like I like to do retreats with women. I don't love the word retreat, but I like to do gatherings with women where we're like getting naked in hot springs and saunas, and we're steaming in the herbs, and we're covering ourselves with oil, and we're like eating fruits and like just feeling really raw and wild and in our beauty. But those are the ancestral dynamics that create my consciousness. I love that question. I got really excited.
I'm gonna tell you a total side story that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so you say Guyana, and every time I hear Guyana, I'm reminded of the fact that was almost my name. My father's name is Guy. And so they had a moment where they were like Guyana. So I'm kind of glad they didn't go there, because that's like a little bizarre to be named. You know, I think that was going to be my name. Like, like they looked at me and, you know, my father
But
was
you
like,
look
Guyana.
really, something I always think when I see you is like, I do really feel family. And I think because you're Haitian and the Haitian and the Guyanese, but you look Guyanese to me. When I'm looking at you, you look cousin to me. You look really family.
You probably are. There are a couple people out here that
yeah,
are
there's
like,
a lot of crisscrossing there.
Yes.
Yeah. And like French Guyana, and my father speaks French fluently, and French was my first language growing up, and my dad has gone a lot to Haiti, and my dad looks very Haitian. Like whenever he's in Haiti, people are like, you're Haitian, and he accepts it fully and with great pride. So I've always felt like a bit Haitian somewhere, like inside. So there's like a Guyana Haitian. I think we're relatives on my dad's side.
Okay, we probably are.
Yeah.
I think my husband and I might even be relatives too. So.
Yeah.
So
That's very Guyanese.
Yeah, we don't dig too deep, you know. 'Cause there was a cousin that was like, I know that last name. That's my cousin's last name too. And I'm like,
That's
oh.
Caribbean truth. Don't judge us.
Exactly. So we don't go to all the family reunions.
I won't even tell you, but my intermarried aunties, I even said it about them on the river. Like they all live there even, and like the Linden people, the Guyana people, they do. It's a tight knit group. I'll just say that.
We don't dig too deep.
We don't dig too deep. That's so good.
Because we don't want to know.
Oh, that's so good. Our kids are healthy.
That's exactly right. They're all right. You know, so we're
Oh,
okay.
that's so good. Oh, I love you.
So we're gonna take us back, and I have to say the reason I asked you that is I think we all are a combination of our ancestry, but not all of us are tapping into that, you know. But I think when we do, when we can, there's a synergy that we'll find where our life starts to flow.
Yeah.
Because in the scheme of things, life's actually not supposed to be hard, right? Like it really isn't. You know, I know that like we go through all these things and these experiences, and a lot of times it's because more of us probably need to be on the river, just naked and eating some fruits. That's just what it is. We got a lot of stuff that we do in life, and this and that, and we want to do all these things, and that's not exactly the path for all of us. So first of all, I commend you for embracing your path, because you know I know it couldn't have been easy the entire time. I know people sometimes, you know, they call you, you know, nuts, and and I'm not you. I mean, they call me nuts. So I don't know. They might not have called her nuts.
Definitely called me.
But you know, it's like then there's a point where you get this the Haitian in you where you're like, I am nuts.
I'll
you know,
take it.
and I'll take it and I own it, and it's like I feel good. You know, like embracing who I am. There's no box.
Yeah.
And that is good. Like you define yourself. You're not a thing.
Yeah.
You are simply you, and that is probably why today you're like, I'm healed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump forward then.
Wait, Suki, I was gonna say I always tell clients like on the, you know, within the archetypes on the path to free woman, like mad woman is a step.
Okay.
You know? So it's like you do have to go through that. It's part of the alchemy.
Okay.
I feel like to getting to that space of free woman. And I feel like if there's something that is foundationally what my work is about, womb steaming is just a technique to get your mind into that mentality. But it's like I'm here, I talk about like I feel like one of my guides and what I'm doing is Harriet Tubman. I'm always bringing Harriet Tubman into the sessions. It's like I walk this path and I'm over here in the wild woman, free woman, archetypal energy of just living my truth with authenticity, unafraid. And I then feel the ancestral call to go back through that dark forest and like to go back for my people. But it's like the way that my work is going, it's like I'm telling you, you could put your foot here, you could like hide under this tree, listen for the dogs, like get like, you know, let the full moon guide you. But it's because I walk that path, you know, I walk that path. It's not from the outside that I'm working, it's from really like, it's really in this deep inner way. So anyway, I like that we went there. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I'm in half mad woman right now. Yeah. So I'm glad to know I'm on my way to healing, right? Because I definitely can make some phone calls. You know that I'm a nice mad woman, so I don't curse or anything like that. So it's very, you know. So if you're wondering, like you hear something from me and you ask a question, did she just say that? Yeah, I probably did. Yeah, and did she mean? Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. And I think that we do need guides, though.
Yeah.
Because it's hard sometimes to, like sometimes you see someone and they're there, right? But how did they get there? And everybody's path and journey is different. And I did want to make one comment about just the womb. You know, sometimes people think about your womb, healing that needed, trauma, etc., and they think automatically womb equals babies, right? And womb is not just babies. If you happen to utilize your womb in that manner, you just happened to. But all of us carry, our wombs carry us, like the essence of us, irrespective of what you're actually using it for. So I want to make sure that people understand, you know, that this is not like a baby I know I've made a bunch of them, but this is not a baby making thing.
Really good ones,
you know,
too.
They're good ones.
Quality.
They are, I'm just saying, you know, because we don't look into the lineage, I'm just saying. You know, but this is not kind of we don't say womb means womb. Womb does not mean necessarily the physical, you know, children. In the scheme of things, I've always said about my kids, my womb is like the car. I just put them in at first, I drive them around, and at some point they got to get out of the car and, you know, press on and live life. And I'm just a vehicle by which that they've come through, but that's it, you know, but my womb is still mine.
Yeah, I like to think of the body as, I do feel like we are divinely created. I try not to like hoist my beliefs on anyone, but I do feel that we are divinely created beings, and that there's a mystery to it, and that there is like, I think of the body as a parable and like a mythology that's giving us codes to what's happening in reality. So when I look at the body of a woman as a code that's giving me information about the quantum totality of the whole, and I see that the womb space is a place where you can put like the semen, which is seed and information, and then on its own, really without any additional like work from you, it can create a life form that is then birthed out into reality to take on its own like experiences, and then can make other life forms and experiences. That tells me this is how this reality is put together. And in many indigenous belief systems, the woman, the womb carrier, is the one who is birthing the whole storyline. I like to call manifestation birthing, and I think that's what the analogy of the womb is all about. This is the place where your dreams and ideas and your imaginings are like where they sit. It's like the cauldron where they sit and form into like a ripeness, and when it is time, it's from that same portal that they're birthed out into life to take on their own experiences and like pathways. So whether it's your creative projects, whether it's your business, whether it's just the actual day-to-day dream of what your life can look like, you know, I think it's coming from the womb space in that way. So I love that you said that. It's like this womb is birthing all the dreams that we have. Your physical babies, your business babies, your bank account babies, you know, all those babies.
Yes.
It's connected.
I will let her say that again, your bank account babies. I'm just saying, we're all looking for some bank account babies. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's connected. Yeah,
Yes.
it's connected. So what freedom in the womb space is like freedom in your creative energy, and like freedom in what you can imagine that your life can be like, you know? We can make our life as magical and as beautiful as what we can imagine it to be. And that's why the attacks on our consciousness are what block what we can even imagine ourselves to be. So it's like, if you can get to that place to dream it, then yeah, you can be it. So we just want to clear the path of what we can dream, which is so beautiful with the ancestors and our inner child. Because little kids, you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they're like, a golden fairy, you know? They're not like a doctor, a nurse, you know? Their minds are free. And it's like, yeah, you can grow up and be a golden fairy. Look at me, you know?
There you go. No, you are the golden fairy.
I am a golden
yes,
fairy.
Exactly. Well, you know what? We're going to leave it at that for the first half.
Okay.
So, we are going to see you on the other side. In the next half, we are going to talk a little bit more about the work, how she came to it, a life-altering experience. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Oaxaca Healing Retreat. In the event that you don't join us, and you'd be out of your mind not to, so seriously, press the button for part 2. I do want to mention to you that Jaguar will be with us for the Oaxaca Healing Retreat on March 14th through March 17th. And I'll put all the information for you in the description section, and you can reach out and we can talk about it if you have time, if you want to join us. If you're even thinking about maybe this year doesn't work for you, we're actually going to do it again next year. So just reach out to us and we'll talk about it. We'll see you on the other side. Ciao.